Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor. Thanks for checking me out. So, yesterday I had somebody that I met that I knew years ago, and I saw him for the first time again yesterday. Not really too interested in meeting with me. He's a very self-absorbed guy. Even though I sat next to him for years at a job, and always just everything's about him. So he's getting older, and he ended up marrying wealthy and getting an even better job than the one he had with me. So he was just telling me about a $3 million house and this and that. So good for him. But I felt, I was standing there talking with someone else about him. I felt, and I said, I started talking about being envious, and as it is with all feelings that I have and ideas, I try to drill down to the bottom of it. And I started exploring the feeling of envy. And then it happened that I didn't realize it, but I got a tone in my left ear. So I haven't had that tone there. And then I finally got the tone in my left ear. Always getting it in my right ear, but I got it in my left ear. And it's just like, that's the left-handed path. I believe that's just bad, but it felt crazy to have it in both ears, and it was just super powerful. And I felt like Superman for a minute, but it just, I realized envy's a sin, and that's not what I'm about. And it's amazing to really analyze it from the bottom up, from the inside out and top down. I'm not envious of anybody. I don't, and that's an important thing, I think, for everybody to feel. I'm happy the way things are, and it's crazy, but I'm working really hard at what I do, and I'm probably not getting paid enough for what I do. They keep cutting my pay and everything else, but it's honest work. It's honest. I'm not stealing. I'm not lying. It's just honest work. So if you're doing honest work and able to live, even though, the economy's bad and everybody keeps sliding into debt, what I'm trying to say is that, I could go out and be $1 million earner. I know I can. I could go out and do that. I would just have to change myself and be that guy, that jerk, the guy lies, the guy does all these things. And I don't want to compromise. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. That's just it. That's the lesson. I just think that it's important to acknowledge, what we have in our lives and what we have with each other and our family. And it's so easy to take everything for granted, and it sounds so, canned to say that. But to just be grateful at all times of the day for everything that you have. And envy is the opposite of gratefulness, isn't it? Envy is just, it's a sin. But what is envy? It just eats you up from the inside, and it makes you feel horrible and not worth it, and that somehow life tricked you and you're not getting what you deserve. That's the opposite of spiritualness, I think, of being mindful of where we need to be in our lives. So I use myself as an example a lot, and I thought, this doesn't reflect great on me, but the tone went away, and it's a great lesson to not be envious of anybody, and I'm not. I keep getting people promoted over me who have less experience and don't know as much as me and aren't as hardworking as me, but just sometimes they just get promoted over me because I don't know why. Maybe it's their attitude, maybe it's just because they're compromising in their ability to say whatever needs to be said instead of the right thing. I honestly think that's probably it. But when you try to center yourself in the truth and be yourself at all times, that to me is more important, because we're going to all be in the ground one day, and it's between now and then is who you are and what you're doing. So I hope this makes sense to someone and helps them, because it's just so important to not feel like we see these characters, I'll say it that way, these characters on television or in the media or in the news or whatever it is. They're on this multi-million-dollar yacht, and they have beautiful wife or beautiful husband and whatever it is, and they're drinking from these things, and would you like to explore their house, and would you like, and it's good for them. That's great. I'm happy for them. But the one thing I'm not going to feel is envy, because envy, number one, is a sin, and that it's important just to be grateful for what we have. Any moment above ground is a beautiful moment, and that's it. So I think that we all have to come from a place of gratefulness, being grateful for everything, and then more things come to us. I don't know, again, if this helps you in any way, but if it helps one person feel better about themselves and their life, then it was worth me posting this. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. Have a great day. Bye-bye.